Good morning, this is Linda Morris, and today I have the special pleasure of Carol Gruendl, Royal Diamond from Sarasota, is going to be talking about intermittent fasting and eating keto. So, sometimes we have to get on this committed, focused plan, lifestyle to get where we want to be. And Carol has been doing this since April 9th, I believe it was. And so I'm going to unmute you, Carol, and we're going to just have a conversation with you about what you've been up to. So
Okay.
good morning. Thank you for being on. And so do you want to tell us a little bit about this journey that you started and what's happened?
I started April 9th. My good friend Linda Morris calls me and tells me something about intermittent fasting and that she'd seen it. I don't know, was it on Facebook or someone else was doing it?
It was Mind Valley.
Mind Valley, that's right. And so then I was like, okay. And it was really a nonchalant kind of way I came into it. It wasn't like, oh, I'm totally committed, I'm ready. I just was like, oh, I'll check this out, like kind of check anything out. And then I listened to it and I thought, I don't know if I can do this, but that's my old story. I don't know if I can do that anyway, anything. And I couldn't even fast for a blood test. I would have to reschedule my blood test, cancel, reschedule. It was like so foreign to me to do that. My brain set was, you need 3 meals a day, but that's so not true. But anyway, so the journey began and I noticed a big difference in the first week. Now the first 3 days were difficult, I think. I was just trying to make it through the 16 hours and what 16 hours looked like and felt like and calculating the times. And so once I finally got that down and I noticed a difference in my alertness, and I had lost probably 5 pounds, 7 pounds in the first week. But it wasn't just the pounds, I lost some inches. I noticed it in my body, in places that I didn't normally, you wouldn't lose first. That was, I have to say. I mean, anytime I ever tried to lose before, I would lose in all the wrong places, and the one place I wanted to lose would be the very last. But this was, I was like melting. Like literally melting in every area all at once. And that was kind of cool. So that was intriguing for me. And then I thought, well, how can I tweak this more? And then I added the keto. And just learning all about that was, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother avenue. But it gives you the creativity to do and feel like you're eating the way you kind of used to eat and can have some of the things you never thought you could really have if you just alter some things. So then I started losing more weight, and then clothes started fitting me that, well, they were ready to be thrown out. So and that's kind of how it started for me. It was not like total commitment all up front. It was more of I was more curious more than anything. And then when I started to see the results, that's what fueled it.
That's usually the case. It's like seeing results is what gives you hope to keep going. Well, this is working. Let me dive further into this. And I know you've gone on Dr. Berg on YouTube. And let me just share my screen for a minute here. So I pulled up a couple of things, just so you can do your own research. And I know you and Igor both spoke about how you really like Dr. Berg, Eric Berg's videos on intermittent fasting. So here's one for beginners, how to do it for serious weight loss, 5 things not to do. And through that, he has a website, obviously, too. We all choose to use Nikken products for everything because Nikken has something for everything, including our Kensen Vital Balance meal replacement is a really easy way to get your healthy nutrition in every day. And actually out of that, from him, I found Dr. Thomas, or actually not Dr. Thomas DeLure. And I've watched a lot of his videos this week. So, it's that you learn something and like, wow, I want to learn something more. So Thomas DeLure, and actually if you just go on any of these videos, he's gonna pop up on the right-hand side because that's how YouTube works. but he talks about ketogenic diet versus low carb diet. And I've even went in and watched some of his keto coffee recipes, keto coffee recipe, better than bulletproof. And so intermittent fasting is where you're not eating all the time. So you're, let's change this for a minute.
Well,
So
I'm actually not doing it intermittently. I'm doing it every day.
you're doing the,
So
but it's still intermittent where you're eat, stop, eat, right? And so it's like you eat, you have an 8-hour window of eating or less. And then you have 16 hours where you're not eating, and not eating means you're only drinking things that don't have any calories. So that's water, could be iced tea, hot tea, coffee without anything in it. And that's what that's called. Go ahead, Carol.
And what brought us kind of listen to Dr. Bird, or actually Igor found him, was because when we had eaten, or we'd noticed that either you didn't feel really good after a meal, or, you know, it was something that we had maybe eaten, or the stomach would bloat, or, you know, and so then we were noticing our digestion, or we'd noticed that, well, what's that about? So then we realized that it was about insulin resistant. And so then we wanted to learn about what that mean, and then a fatty liver. So then we realized we had to eat all of our greens, all the Nick and Jade greens, and any other greens that we maybe added to it first in a drink or a salad or whatever, however you want to take it in, and then we could eat our proteins, and then we would finish up, have more vegetables and more greens, and then you didn't have the bloating. So then it was about healing the not being insulin resistant, and healing the fatty liver and getting a healthy liver. So then the whole thing kind of switched to not just weight loss or losing inches. It was more about being healthy, get your body healthy, don't worry about the weight, and don't exercise until you get the weight off, so that your body is actually healthier for the long term, so that you can actually keep it off, because the body's functioning better, your internal organs are functioning better.
So you got, yeah, that was really important point, was to eat your greens first and then your protein, and then as you guys said, you went back to eating a lot more vegetables. Like I think Igor said, what, 10 cups of green vegetables?
Yeah, he'll blend them all in the blender and add the jade greens and some other nutritionals, and maybe he'll add a lot of different things in there, and it actually tastes pretty good. The first time I ever had it, I thought I was going to gag, but anyway, it has the texture, so it has more liquid and everything. But and maybe a little lemon for flavor or something, or lime. And then I was able to get about half of mine down in the morning, or like when I would eat. And you can even start adding your vegetables early in the morning. You don't have to wait till lunch and dinner. So put them in your breakfast meal. So I would do that. I'd start getting them in early in the morning, and then have my protein, then have it again, or either wait till the end of the day and have it with one of my other the other meal. I was doing at least 2 meals a day. Igor went more extreme and did all the way down to 1 meal a day. And if I would have to go out to someone's birthday party or something like that, what I would do is maybe I would have 1 bite of something, not very often, that I would normally have, but it was then the next day, maybe instead of 16 hours, I'll go 20 hours, because I want my body to burn whatever I just probably shouldn't have had in my meal. And I've been able to still lose. So that's what's kind of fascinating. You get to do what you feel your body can do, and what it can't do. You learn your body better, but also and then there's sometimes where I just need to sleep, and that's the body just healing. So, and listen to your body. If there's a day that I can't make the 16 hours and I'm at 14 and a half, or I might have 1 bite of cheese to get me through, or herbal tea or something like that to get me through the 16 hours. But if I'm really hungry and getting a little like dizzy or woozy, if I'm really hungry and my stomach is growling, I will eat. But then there are days where I can go a little longer. And then that extra time from 16 to 20 hours, that's when you're really fat burning. And so you really notice a difference, and you kind of get used to not having so much food, that when you do eat, sometimes I've actually had to force myself to eat because I'm just not really hungry. And it's amazing how much little your body, it really doesn't need, but when you do eat, those 2 meals, they have to be very high quality foods because that's all you're getting. So you start to be more aware of your choices of things and how you feel from those choices that you eat.
So going back to like the fatty liver, and so what are you guys doing to heal that? I know there's something about lemon juice and apple cider vinegar. Is that,
Well, it's
or is that something else Igor's doing?
green drink also. So the lemon juice and the apple cider vinegar is enough to cleanse the body and bring the pH balance back in order, but also to have the body where you're not craving anything, or it's just help cleansing, and that it will help carry you through. So what, I can't even think of the word right now, it helps you out. So your appetite, you're not hungry. So and so that's where that helps. So I'll always have maybe a big glass of water with me, but the next one next to it will be lemon juice and apple cider vinegar. And if you don't like it that way, you can take it in a pill form too. Sometimes I can't get it all down, but I'll maybe take the pills or have that with me. So, and I always carry nuts in the car or in my purse just in case I'm not feeling great, and I'll have it some nuts. But most of the time I feel awesome. So it's very rare.
I mean, this is like amazing, because I remember how in the past, if you didn't eat a little bit here and there, you would just be hangry, is the word.
Oh yes, hangry. Well, the other word would begin with a B, but thank you, Linda.
I mean, as soon as you come to my house, you're like, what do you have to eat in here? And I'm like, well, I don't know. What do you want? You know?
I know. I told you I could never even fast for blood tests. I always have to like reschedule like 3 times. So now I'm up to, I've released, as you could say, 35 pounds, and I have 27 more that I want to go. So I do about 8 to 10 pounds a month. And that's just kind of on low. I try to keep that low, so that whatever over that I do better, I'm excited about. So you just have to give your body time to heal. I didn't do this to my body over a few weeks. I did it over a few years. And if it takes me half a year to get it off or more, all right, that's good.
It's awesome, and you're feeling so much better as you're going along.
I'm feeling so much better. It's amazing. Like, I went to someone's birthday party last night, and they had champagne and dessert, and I just had some vegetables, and I had, like, someone had a cheese plate, and everybody gave me their extra vegetables, because not everybody eats their vegetables. So it's like it was perfect.
That's true.
And I wasn't going to weigh this morning, because I thought, nope, not going to do it. I'll wait maybe 2 days or 3 days to weigh, because I don't want to be disappointed. But actually, I was down. So sometimes you're really surprised. You're like, what you thought you might have done. And another thing that Igor started doing that I didn't do in the beginning, which I think is kind of brilliant, I would weigh maybe first thing in the morning, but when you're done fasting and ready to eat, weigh yourself. Because those extra time from when you wake up in the morning to when you can eat, you're burning. And so you're going to notice a difference there. So if I stop eating by 5 o'clock, I can eat at 9. If I stop eating by 6 o'clock, I can eat at 10. If I stop eating at 7, I can eat at 11. If I stop at 8, I can eat at noon. So I just always calculate, because dinner time is when you're trying to be social with family, or, it's not always, you're not on clockwork. So, and life happens.
And a good point of what you just said is, when you are fasting, that's actually when you burn more fat, because generally if you go to the gym and you've had carbohydrates, your body first goes to carbohydrates to burn. So if you've been fasting, then you don't have those carbohydrates, so it has to burn fat. And just be aware, you drink lots of, drink your water, and if you get lightheaded, you just gotta, be aware and cautious at the same time that you don't overdo. If you are.
And in the very beginning, I would keep myself so busy. So I wouldn't just sit around and wait for, oh God, I have an hour and a half, I would be like, what can I do now? What errand can I run? Can I work in the garden? Can I do some laundry? What can I do to keep myself busy? It was really, I mean, and we were working on our other house, and one of the renters moved out. So we were diligently working on that. We only had like so many days to get this ready and everything organized and people in. And so that was really helpful because it kept us focused, and I had lists and what we had to go do and who we had to call and who had to come in. And that was really helpful. And then people don't start noticing until I was in about my end of my second month, going into my third month, because by then I had lost 15. I was going on to 20, 25 pounds. And now that I'm at 30, 35 pounds, people are like, whoa, what is going on with you? So, and then I have the friends that go, it's funny that because some people don't want to talk about weight. And then some people will talk and say anything will come out of their mouth. And it's kind of funny because she'll say, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see how this all turns out for you. And another woman was doing it, but she was doing it because she had a scare, a friend of mine, of breast cancer. So she actually did it to cleanse the body of all the impurities from her body for a reason for cancer. And I thought that was fascinating. So she won't cheat at all. She won't have any sugar. She won't have any carbs because of a health issue. And I'm doing it. It became more of a health issue than just weight or losing inches. But now I'm getting into clothing that my size 10 and 12s are big. And so now I'm getting to where I'm going to have to go buy some clothes, but I don't even want to because I know I'm going to be going down farther. So I'm thinking, what do I do in between? So I don't know. I don't really want to spend money on clothes that I'm not going to wear again, and I'll have lost more. So might be living in a bathing suit this summer until it happens.
Nothing wrong with that. And dresses, right?
Dresses, yeah.
Maybe
dresses.
with clips in the back. Yeah.
That's right. I know. I do have a sewing machine. I'll just take things in. I don't know.
Well, and it is about health. In fact, on Dr. Berg, it's like get healthy to lose weight, I think is his tagline, something like that.
And I love this. Yeah, I like that he said, don't exercise until you lose weight, because every time that I would exercise, the whole reason I'm anemic was because of a issue shooting down my right leg, sciatic. And when I do exercise, my brain thinks I can do more than my body. So, but then my body will be screaming, and I'll have this, it's almost like an electrical zzz down my leg. And it's so annoying because it happens like every 10 seconds. And so when I exercise, that's what happens. And so I would just stop because I couldn't handle that. I would use the palm mag. I would, all these things until it just would subside. And then I would use my back flex and all the things in the infrared and the blanket, and the sleep system, all of that. But it was just kind of annoying. And what I liked about this, I didn't have to exercise. They actually say it's better for your joints to get the weight off, and then when the weight's off, start exercising.
Unless you've been exercising all along, then you just keep doing what you're already doing. And of course, adding in if you have the far infrared sauna also.
Yeah, that's not reserved. Right. And I would do that too, but I just thought that there's got to be a better way where I don't have to deal with this. And so when I heard that you don't have to exercise, that was like, oh, sign me up. Maybe I can do this one. So.
Well, good. And actually, that on the Vital Balance eating plan that we've taught for so many years, it's the same way. You don't actually, you burn more by actually eating the keto or the protein, and
Mm-hmm.
And I like how eating the vegetables first to help with the fatty liver, which sounds like a lot of people have, and insulin resistance also.
Yeah. So just watching some of the videos on fatty liver by Dr. Berg, or ones that you suggest if they have it, it's fascinating to understand how the body actually works. It's nothing like what we were taught when we were growing up, or what our parents said, or what the marketing things on TV had said. So you really have to sway your concept of meals and eating and socializing and how much your body really needs. So that was probably huge for me, realizing that I actually can function on less, but the quality I'm getting is better than what I was doing. So my choices are better.
It's making you more conscious. And also like the keto coffee. So let's talk about that for a minute, because
Okay, I have it right here.
I had different opinions about it too, and you're having it right now. And I started doing a lot of research into that also. And I was doing an intermittent fast day, but I had the coffee in the morning, and actually I put cacao butter in instead of the MCT oil, which I also have, and the ghee. But I was trying
That
something
just
different. And that was a busy day for me. So I had, I don't know, I had different things going on. And I remember texting you like, wow, I haven't eaten in 24 hours and I'm still not hungry. I'm like, this is wild. So talk about that.
it really is. It really is. So I can't drink coffee black. I just won't drink it. So I did coconut. Well, the girl who was doing it for the health reasons for the breast cancer scare, she was using coconut oil, and so you can whip it up in the blender, and it looks frothy, and it looks like milk, and it actually tastes better than milk. And I just digesting it better. And so I would do that, and that would carry me over those next 3 or 4 hours, no matter what time I'd wake up. And it was just amazing that I wasn't hungry at all. And the time would come and almost pass, and I would be like, oh God, I've gone an extra hour. And then I'd check in with my body. Am I hungry? Well, maybe I can go a little longer. So because those are those extra benefits, that you're healing your internal organs, and you're really burning the belly fat, and you're burning all the fat is around all your internal organs, but it's interesting, you melt everywhere. So and then I went to the from coconut oil, all organic items, to the MCT. And then one time I just wanted to go back to coconut oil to see if I noticed a difference. And then I ordered the thing that you talked about, you just
Cacao
mentioned,
butter.
the organic pure, the coconut butter.
Cacao.
Was that it?
Cacao.
Cacao. Yes.
Which is like
I
from
ordered
the
that,
cocoa
and I
beans,
tried that. Right. I tried that, and then that, so now I have 3 options, so that's amazing. So I can go a long time, and I can maybe do my 20 hours and I'm not hungry.
Mm-hmm. And technically the coffee is breaking the fast, but it's still working for Carol because she has been having the keto coffee every day. So it's working for her. And when I first, how I first discovered intermittent fasting, or I started to look into it, is I was at a doctor's open house, and there was a guy there selling a nutritional supplement to help increase your human growth hormones, which is anti-aging.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like $150 a month. And I'm like, I don't really want to spend that on that one product. And I Googled it, how to do it naturally, how to improve that naturally. And it was intermittent fasting. I'm like, well, that's free. You just go that at least 16 to 18 hours without eating. It does, but you're still eating. Like I talked to Igor about that, I think it was yesterday, and he said, I'm still eating my 2,000, 2,400 calories in that window. It's not like he's reducing how much calories, it's just in that one window. But by doing the intermittent fasting, that's what
you have
to increase those healthy hormones. Go ahead, Karen.
Right. So you do have to keep the calorie intake up. You really do, because otherwise, you don't want to not lose. So that's why I said there's some days where I'm actually forcing myself to eat. Like I go, I'm not hungry at all, but I know if I don't eat now, that was still trying to make those 16 hours, that felt long. But then I'd force myself to eat because I thought, I don't want to be hungry at midnight. I don't want to be hungry at 1 a.m. or something. So, but there, and after probably my I'm into my middle of my 4th month, but there are times where you'll get to know where your body, you just go, I feel a little like kind of weak. I'm not hungry, but I just feel weak. So I will have the protein shake, and it could be at midnight before bed or 11 o'clock before bed, because I'm thinking, just not feeling right. Something doesn't, so I'll do that. And then I feel so much better, but I still am burnt. I still am losing. So you get to know your body and what your body can do, and then go by how you're feeling after a while, because you're going to know, you're going to understand and feel so much better, and then you're going to know your body better.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions? If you do, unmute yourself for Carol.
Hi, it's Gary in Maine.
Good morning, Gary.
Hi.
Morning. So, could you now talk a little bit about how you would incorporate the KVB into this? Because I heard you talk about protein. Are you talking about um, having the shakes, or are you eating like a really lean protein, like fish or beef or something?
I have fish, chicken, beef. I mean, I've even had pork. Um, but on this, it's kind of like it's 6 ounces of protein and then more fat and the rest vegetables. So your actually intake is more fat than the good saturated fat, and then a heavier piece of protein. And then if I have a lot to do in the day, I'll take one of the protein shakes. They'll be with me. They'll be in the car. They'll be with me. So in case I have a lull and I'm not feeling great and I'm not at home, I'll take the protein shake. So that could be maybe my snack. Now, when you're on true keto, you're supposed to go from meal to meal and not snack. But I was still just letting my body adjust. So I would have maybe a protein shake as a snack in between my 2 meals. Maybe I'd have a cheese and an apple, or I'd have some nuts, or apple with peanut butter on it. I mean, I just wanted to be sensible about what I ate. And I ate all different types of protein, and that seemed to help. I just wanted it to be diverse and varied so I wouldn't be bored. So
could you give an example of if you were having a meal that would involve some fish, like say you said 6 ounces, is that right?
Right.
Okay, and then what might you serve with that?
Well, you can do the zoodles, which is zucchini noodles, or you can do Brussels sprouts. You can do any green leafy vegetable. You can do the darker the green, the bitter, which helps the pH balance. But lots of greens, lots of different types of vegetables, squash. I mean, I can't do eggplant because I'm allergic to a lot of nightshades, so I can't do peppers. So you could add any type of I know Linda, she's good at this because she can eat more things than I can eat because I have some food allergies. So it's just more vegetables, salad, protein, and then your fats on there. So I would add butter, I'd add the oils, and then start to learn to flavor things with different things that maybe you're not normally using. Switch it up, change it up so you're not getting bored. One of my favorite, I love Indian food, but all the sauces, so I'll limit how much sauce I'll put on some of it and eat more of the vegetables. So I'm trying things that I would not normally would have maybe tried, and I'm doing things I not normally would have done.
Okay, and then one more question. Does it matter if the greens that you're eating, if they're cooked or not? So like when you talk about Brussels sprouts, those are cooked, of course, right?
Yeah, I'll roast them.
Yeah.
Can steam them out. I don't really like it that way. But yeah, most of them are cooked, but they're all al dente, so they have a little bit of a crisp crunch.
Right. Yes.
Then I cook them. And when you have something that's not cooked so much, you have more of a texture to it, which you feel like then you're eating something. Right. When it's all mush and you cook everything out of it, it's like, why eat it anyway? But a lot of times my husband will just put everything in the blender, and I'm surprised at what he puts in there. Like kale and cilantro and parsley and the beet, the leaves from the beets, spinach. I mean, oh my God. And he'll put the nutritionals in there too, Nican nutritionals. So coconut oil, lime, lemon. It's an avocado he puts in there. So I usually have to water mine down a little bit more because just the texture of some things get me. So that's how I get in though.
Okay, thank you.
Which is pretty darn awesome because she's been a princess in the pea.
That's probably true.
So I think it's pretty darn awesome what you've been up to, and that you actually enrolled Igor into it also.
Well, he started like 2 weeks later, and I didn't even ask him. I was just trying to stay on my program. You're kind of like tunnel vision for a while there until you just get your 16 hours down and you get a routine that kind of works for you. So I think I wasn't even paying attention to anything around me. But, but there is some times where I'll come home from running around doing a lot of errands, and then as soon as I walk in the door, I have, you know, dogs that are hungry and cats that are hungry, or, you know, and you're kind of going, oh wow. So like that's where I'll have a nuts or a protein shake, because I go, maybe I won't be able to eat for another half hour, but I really need something now. So, and I'll combine my protein shake maybe with a whole meal, because I just want something chocolatey. Or I like the chocolate. I think you like the vanilla, right?
Oh, the
Linda?
shake, yeah. I'm a vanilla.
Yeah, so I'll do that, or at the end of my meal, I'll have a little protein shake, because I'm like, I'm craving some chocolate. I will do dark chocolate once in a while. I like to, it's a crazy thing, but I like to freeze my chocolate and eat the chocolate. But sometimes the protein shake, I can just do the chocolate protein shake, and that will hold me. And I'm like, oh yes, you know, that was good. It carried me. And I
Do you
really
do
don't
it
need
in
my
water,
chocolate.
or do you use, I know when you're out and about, you probably use water, but what about when you're at home? Do you use coconut or almond milk?
It
Or
depends. It depends if I'm in my eating window or not. If I'm not in my eating window and I'm not feeling good, I'll use water. If I'm in my eating window, I can use whatever I want. Coconut milk, almond milk. There is a really cool milk I found was macadamia nut and almond, I think. That's actually really good with the shake.
I just bought some of that, the creamer.
So in the nuts, huh?
I just bought the macadamia nut
Pardon me?
creamer.
Yeah, it's actually really good. It's creamier than milk, and it gives a different flavor. But I'll keep like pecans in the car, macadamia nuts with me. They have more fats in certain nuts, maybe some pistachios. But it's so funny because I'm looking for things that have fat, not calorie or carbs, which is completely switch in your brain.
It
Because
is.
you're still burning fat.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of us have, there for many years, oh, avoid fat, avoid fat. Well, now you need it for the brain, the cognitive function and the brain health. And it was interesting watching the keto coffee YouTubes about how like the coconut oil, the ghee, what is it? They put Himalayan salt. All these ingredients are actually working on helping different parts of the body or the organs. And then the coffee, the heat of the coffee actually then helps to break it open in the cell to release the fat. It's like, huh, fascinating.
right. You learn so many different things. And then like Igor would have some leg cramps, like when he was sleeping. So he had to take salt in the evening. And also, I think on one of the videos, I can't remember which one it was, that the apple cider vinegar, lemon, and then if you have a little salt in it before bed, that helps with the cramping. So it just watch as many videos in here and there as you can, and then you're gonna then try some things and figure out what works for you.
Mm-hmm. And then I know they said you need potassium. Well, our Jade Greenzymes has about 1,100 milligrams of calcium per serving.
Right.
So you can do that 3 times a day if you need to.
Right. Potassium, choline.
Choline.
There's a couple things they mentioned. What is it called?
Choline.
Choline. Yeah. So there's a couple things that certain internal organs of your body needs to help continue burning. So we had to find out what was in our Nican ones, and then substitute with a few other things.
And I'm going to share, this is Dr. Berg's free body type quiz. This is on his website. So, I mean, we may not all have like this kind of stuff happening here, but so I'm like,
or some people do. You never know. I mean,
yeah, like what am I? So you click on one, and then you can, and then you go through and you answer the question.
A little bit in any one of those areas where your body's carrying extra fat, then you can. That's where we realized more of ours was more belly fat. So it's the insulin resistant and the fatty liver, and then how to really get rid of that and get healthy, so that your liver and your kidney and everything, and your pancreas and your gallbladder, all those things that are helping to detox the body, are functioning better, so that you can continue this and lose. Because if those aren't functioning properly, you're not going to lose. So that became the goal, is like, for a fatty liver, it may take 3.5 years to heal it. Well, okay, I have 3.5 years. And if I'm feeling better and healthier, now one of my friends has been overweight for a long time. It's so funny. Igor had mentioned to her, it was kind of funny. He wanted to lose a bag of kitty litter, and she looked at him, and I looked at him like, what are you talking about? Well, so we have these 42-pound bags of like kitty litter, and he brought it out and he sat it on her lap, and she's like, holy crap, I can't even hold this. He goes, you're carrying that around all day long. Your joints are carrying that.
Yeah.
That is what shocked her, because they're probably maybe 80 to 100 pounds overweight. And so that actually motivated her. But then actually seeing us and seeing it's just melting. That's all I'm going to say. We're kind of shrinking, and it's everywhere. And then so the joke between all of us is we're going to lose the bag of kitty litter.
Yeah. The big container. Yeah.
Yeah, because those things are heavy, and you just don't throw those around, and we're like, you are carrying that. So I still have a 3/4 a bag of kitty litter to lose to release.
Well, go ahead, Neil.
I've got a question, you folks down there in citrus fruit land. I know we always hear and talk about lemons, but do you find interchanging it with limes is just as effective or not? You know, I'm just thinking, you know, a lot of times Trader Joe's will have a bag of organic limes, but not have organic lemons or whatever. So I like to do organic. So just wondering what your thoughts are on that.
I can interchange them. I like lemon or lime, so I like soury things. So it doesn't really matter to me. Whatever is available that's organic, I would go with. Of course, like we are in Florida, so they're probably a little bit more readily available. But it just depends on which one you kind of prefer more. I think each one has a little different vitamin content and vitamin C content and things. So there is an organic lemon, volcano organic lemon that Igor orders in a bottle. It's kind of pricey, but you know, so if you don't have them and you're in the winter months and you need to get some things, you can order things that have those in a liquid form.
Okay, great. Thanks. This has been really helpful and enjoyable. And congratulations. You look wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. And so we can do another one after I lose the next 27 pounds.
There we go. Well, thank you for being
once I get to the end.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're fabulous. You look fabulous, and I'm happy to see my healthy, vibrant sister.
That's right. They won't tell us apart soon, Linda.
That's right. Are you guys sisters?
Yeah, right.